and we went into one of these wealthy neighborhoods. It's obscene is the word that I would say. Like the very first house in this neighborhood, it's just enormous. Just the yard. Like
it's like all the houses around here, dude.
Yeah, but
as soon as it's not apartment complexes, dude, just like right here.
That's why I'm like walking and going into these neighborhoods just to look at these houses is so entertaining because they're all insane. You know,
it's like multiple millions.
Like
of
the
dollars.
yard leading up to the house is like a quarter mile, and then I'm exaggerating slightly, but it's
just slightly.
Yeah, slightly, because they have a whole yard with multiple different kinds of trees. They have a whole pond with a boat.
Sure. Pond boat,
and this is all in the front yard, and they have with a long ass driveway, you know, leading up to the house, which is grand as all as can be.
Somebody lives there.
Bro, I'll get to it, but like this house is enormous. I mean, and in the time that Danny and I were there, we saw an Escalade go up the driveway. You know, it took a good amount of time for it to get from the road to the house. And I assume it was like a DoorDash or like an Uber or something. But a dog escaped, and like it was following the car down the driveway, and like it was like a little dog. So like by the time it was halfway down this driveway, it was exhausted. It was like, I mean, it's gone so far. It's
a good way to not lose your dog.
Right.
Your yard's too big. It gets tired by the time.
They put their house in the middle of this giant compound where it's just so much yard in between the house that the dog...
They own it.
It's like a wonderland. It's heaven. This will never... If it escapes, it'll get... Before it even leaves the property, it's like, is it worth it to even go further?
There's food back here.
Yeah, I mean, everything's here. I mean, even... It has the wild on the property. I mean, it has like... It has the woods on the property. Yeah,
it's in the budget.
And I looked at Google Maps, and it has a second house that's exactly the same size as the main house. That's perpendicular to it that we couldn't see. It was behind some trees.
Second secret hidden house,
as well as having a basketball court, a tennis court, and just like a hidden garage. I mean, this place,
they don't even play tennis.
It was insane. Half the stuff you couldn't even see until I went on Google Maps just to be like, all right, what's here that I can't see? You know,
this is what's visible. What's behind it?
Huge yard, front and back, and just all around. I mean, it's just like, how do you even get to that level?
Money me, please.
Yeah.
Can I have some? You seem to have plenty of it.
Who did you trick? You know, like
who got hoodwinked?
You didn't get here on your own. Like who did you steal from? Like what was
somebody is worse off due to your actions.
Explain to me your methodology for the criminal activity that you partook in.
Dude, they were just like born rich. They just were born into it. They're
this
like,
person,
I've just always had all this money.
The person in that kind of house is someone that like they have just
schemed their way.
They started like an industry or something. A whole.
And then they choose to live here in Ohio. That's wild.
It was just so quiet, because right,
all the space in between properties.
Well, like guarding this neighborhood essentially was just this huge brick wall. Just in like once you walk in the neighborhood, it's just like the sounds of the road. They're not there. It was so ungodly quiet when we were walking around. I'm just like, does anyone live here in this neighborhood?
They do, but they're all about a mile away from the road.
And these houses were they all were shaped so I think it's a McMansion is when you just have like a garage and then you have a main house and then you like connect it by a third building that's like weird. It doesn't look like it fits, and it's like
it wasn't originally there.
Weirdly connects.
They added it
yeah, and they just look like mini castles, and it's just so strange. And they're all over the place, and some of them have no one in them. There's so many houses that are just empty. Just they have signs on the doors in the yards, and it's just like
no one wants them,
but no one can afford it. It's just like,
well, it's the same thing then.
I'm sure there's like 6 people living in this entire neighborhood, and they're just they're sporadically
placed.
Love it. Like, absolute silence in this neighborhood. Yeah, like we walked past like 2 people in the entire time we were in this neighborhood,
and they were just doing the same thing you guys were.